Hello Whimsy friends, welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're going to be talking all about incorporating fantasy fashion into your own style. And I want to start off by saying that I have been collecting my style for quite a long time, and it does get expensive to buy all of these things, and by no means am I saying you need to go out and buy all these things, especially like brand new. Most of what I've gotten is actually thrifted. And I say thrifted, but like online through Mercari or Poshmark or actual thrift stores. And you can find a lot of really cool stuff through there. And then I do, of course, still buy stuff brand new when I want it. But it is something you have to budget for, and it takes time to build it up. So don't feel like you have to get all this stuff all at once in order to build this sort of style if that's what you're looking for. So I just wanted to put that disclaimer here before I started this video. To begin, I want to talk about my inspiration for wanting to dress like this. And do I dress like this all the time? No, absolutely not. I'm wearing jeans right now, so that's a perfect example. I do not dress like this all the time, but I think it's really fun to incorporate it into your everyday fashion, and then every now and then like go full out, like with the corset top and the long skirt and the big chunky boots. Like, think that's really fun to do once in a while, just to dress however you want. So anyway, the inspiration for all of my fashion has come from things like movies and books and video games and shows. I think the 90s truly were like a perfect time for fashion, for like fantasy fashion, and I guess it would be like late 90s, early 2000s. If I'm thinking about movies that really like started this whole inspiration for me, I think of Lord of the Rings, Practical Magic, The Mummy, Ever After. Oh, that's such a good movie. Literally one of my favorites. Ella Enchanted, A Knight's Tale. Oh my gosh, I fell so in love with Heath Ledger in that movie. Oh my gosh. Obviously, Pride and Prejudice, Princess Bride, Pirates of the Caribbean, that's a big one. Love the pirate core grog wench look. I mean, the list goes on and on and on for movies. Like, I was truly a movie fan, fantasy movie fan when I was younger. And then obviously with books, that list is even longer. And I know obviously you're reading it and it's all in your head, but I discovered fan art a little bit ago, a couple years ago. I didn't realize people were so talented with fan art. And basically what I do now when I start reading a fantasy book is I type in, like, for example, A Court of Thorns and Roses. I'll type that into Pinterest and say that, and fan art, so A Court of Thorns and Roses fan art, and all of these amazing art images will come up. People use AI, or they use Procreate, or they just hand draw, and it's absolutely so amazing, and it inspires me to want to dress like that because they're so creative and it's really amazing. And then shows, oh, there's so many good ones. Game of Thrones, Outlander, ooh, one of my favorites. I'm so obsessed with that show. Rain, that's a really good one. Ooh, more recently that I've been inspired by fashion-wise is Nosferatu. That is such a good movie. It's so spooky and freaky and I love it so much. It's really intense, so if you're not into like very dark gothic horror, you probably wouldn't like it, but I love that stuff. I love spooky things, love spooky movies, and the fashion in that movie is very cool, very gothic. Love dark gothic fantasy fashion as well, which doesn't look like it by the way I'm dressed right now, but I think that's the fun part of fashion, is you can dress, you know, super dark gothic one day, then you can dress like a little fairy the next day if you want to. But yeah, those are kind of like a off the top of my head list of things that have inspired me in my fashion. And so that's where I always would say that I start, where I got my inspiration for my style. And then I just start to incorporate things like more modern pieces. I also like to follow creators online, content creators who kind of have similar styles. So someone like Bethany Kyoto, I think is how you say your name. I'm not really sure, to be honest. I might be mispronouncing that. I'm in love with her style, and her life is so beautiful, and she does a really great job of just not caring about what people think and just wearing fantasy fashion like in her own home, and I think that's amazing. And then someone like Mary Skinner does a really good job of blending fantasy fashion with more modern fashion, and I think that's really cool. That really inspires me to incorporate more like corset tops with jeans and just regular long sleeve tops with really flowy skirts. And then this other girl, her name is Samantha Martin. I will link all of these people below, by the way, so you guys can go get inspired by them as well. She has very kind of like whimsical witchy fashion, and I really enjoy looking at her videos on Instagram. She inspires me with a lot of like witchier style fashion. So I think my main places that I shop, if I'm not just like a thrift store or secondhand, like the actual stores that have these clothing. On the more expensive end, it's like House of CB, Selkie. Kind of in the middle is like Anthropology, Free People. And then on the lower end, you can get a lot of stuff from Amazon. There's this brand called Scarlet Darkness, and they've sent me quite a few things that are really nice. You know, the quality is not like the higher end, but it's still wearable and it's still cute, and if that's what you can afford, then that's totally fine. And I still wear those things as well. So I have a broad range of things from different brands and different price ranges and all that. So it doesn't really matter if you get the more expensive one or the cheaper one. I think you can make either of those things look good, and you can mix and match those things, which is what I like to do. So without further ado, I don't want to talk too much in the beginning of this video. Let's get into it. So one thing about me that you will notice is that if I like something, I will buy it in multiple colors, and that is very true for this top. I have it in 3 different colors, and I think that if you find something that works for you, then why not just keep getting it in different colors, because then you can mix and match and you know that it's going to look good on you, but you can kind of change up the style by using a different color or a different pattern, but the same sort of style. Also, this top is very booby, and I realize it does kind of look like lingerie, but that is, you know, kind of part of like the fun of fantasy fashion, is being a little bit more risque sometimes. Not always, but sometimes. So with long sleeve tops, I like to get something much more basic than I do with my corset tops. Just find something that fits really well, that's good quality, because I love to dress it up with belts and with corsets on top of the long sleeve top, as you can see here. And I like to invest my money more into playing around with those rather than getting a bunch of like playful, colorful long sleeve tops. But you know, you can do whatever you want. I just think it's more versatile this way. This skirt from Amazon is a really good layering skirt, and I recommend having something like this to put underneath your skirts. It just kind of gives it a more like full and playful vibe. This skirt from Free People is a clover skirt, and I have this in so many colors. You'll see I literally put on every single one that I have. And this is my favorite skirt for a reason. It's so playful and whimsical and light. And you can see how well it just kind of flows with your movement, and it's so pretty. And I will say the one thing about the skirt I don't love is the underliner. As you can see in some of these clips, it gets kind of caught and you don't notice it until you realize that your thighs are showing, and it's not really meant to show your thighs, but I mean, it's not the end of the world. You can obviously fix it, but that is my only gripe about this skirt. I think it's really cool to get skirts with unique patterns like this patchwork skirt. I think this looks so fun, especially in the fall. It's a very like cozy looking skirt. And then this skirt is much more springy, so it's kind of fun to have different skirts for different seasons, obviously. This one's much more light. These milkmaid dresses from Amazon are so nice. I was so surprised at the quality of this because it really is hit or miss on Amazon. For fantasy fashion, I love anything with a basque waist. I feel like it really just accentuates a really beautiful feminine shape, and it just kind of like, it snatches your waist. It's crazy. I don't have very many curves naturally from the front, and it makes me look like I have a lot of curves. So I really do love that. And if you're a lucky girl who has a lot of curves, it will just accentuate you even more. If I were to recommend investing in one dress from Free People, it's definitely this one, the Oasis Midi. You can do so much with this dress, like layering corsets or belts on top of it, but you can also just wear it on its own and it's very fantasy-esque. Okay, this is definitely the most fun part of doing fantasy fashion, and it's just accessorizing and making it fun and making it unique and adding fun jewelry and belts. And I even like to add perfume that kind of fits with the outfit, but that's definitely not necessary. I also think it's really fun to kind of name your outfit, or at least kind of figure out where your inspiration is coming from your outfit. So like this one is based off of a siren or like a mermaid, and then the last one was a green witch, and it kind of helps you figure out how you're going to style it and like what direction you're going so that it's not all over the place. Unless of course you're going for that look, and that is amazing as well. Let me know in the comments if you know what this perfume is referencing, and then if you do, you are a true fantasy fan. So I will do my best to link all of these things that I can, but again, I got a lot of this stuff secondhand, so it may not be in stores anymore, or it may not be available in that color or that pattern anymore, but I definitely highly recommend that you go on Poshmark or Mercari and you type in these things, and you more than likely will find them, and especially if you're checking frequently. Then that's how I found most of this stuff. I hope you guys liked the video, and if you were interested in something a little bit more niche than just fantasy, so like witchy specific or pirate core specific, let me know in the comments below and I can make a video about that as well. I think this is really fun, and I have a lot of clothes and a lot of different materials that I can do to make very fun, unique fashion videos. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye! Say bye, Salem!